What's up, guys? It is Tuesday, September 17th, 1:55 p.m., and this is a Bitcoin and crypto market update. And we could be at the verge of something very promising here because Bitcoin is seeing a little pumpage. If you look on the right side of the screen, we also have a lot of altcoins in double-digit gains right now. And tomorrow we have the Fed meeting for cutting rates. So we still need to be cautious, but there's some optimistic signs showing up in the charts that I need to show you as we speak. So we're going to cover just the drivers. We got Bitcoin right now on the 4-day chart. As you can see, we have the TSI about to cross right now, the MACD ready to flip from red to green. If we look at kind of where the TSI is in relation to the previous time, last year, September of 2023, we're at the same relative area, about to see a cross up, about to see a flip of the MACD from red to green, just like we did back here late September into early October. And that was the start of the big move right here. It was right at this moment. We had one little pullback and then bang, we were off to the races. So what we're seeing right now is that TSI MACD. But if we look at the stock RSI as well too, we're seeing a coil up. We're seeing that we're making some higher lows. We've been making some lower highs. And right now we're getting ready to breach that 50 line and potentially make a new high above this one that we had set back in late August. So this candle closes in 3 days and 7 hours. So this is the week that's going to decide it all as far as the market structure going forward for the crypto market. Looking at the key level of where we need to break above, that's going to be 62,141. That's the 786 right there. And that's kind of like the middle point where we found a lot of support and rejections, as well as kind of where we're at right now is very important because we have this downward sloping trend line that we're at currently. If we were to come back down, we have this trend line coming up like this. So we would want to absolutely hold like around 54, 55,000 if we came back down. Looking at Fibonacci's, if we take the macro high to this local bottom that we had set back in August, our key level to get above at that point after breaking above 62,141 is 67,555. If we can get above there, then we'll be breaking above this downward sloping resistance in tandem. So if we can get above here, hold that support, we're very likely going to be heading up to around $91,000 to $95,000 for Bitcoin. But first stop, we would get stopped around, that would be the first stop. And then we have 107,000 to potentially 111 to 130,000. And in my opinion, that would be the macro top. But we'll have to see once we get up to there if we're flashing high time frame sell now signals. Because if we look at the 6-week chart on Bitcoin, and I'm going to hide everything else besides the signals here. If we look at the 6-week chart, whenever that 6-week sell now signal comes in, it's time to sell. It's the macro top. As you can see, back in 2014, we had the sell now, bear market. Back in 2018, bear market. Back in 2021, bear market. We have the sell warnings, meaning we're in the midst of the bull run. But once that 6-week sell now signal comes in, it's time to exit the markets for at least a year, because usually you see a year of downside and it's brutal. So once we get up to those areas, if we do, say 98,000, 112,000, once we flash that 6-week sell now signal, that's going to be my indicator as far as knowing it's time to get out. But right now, everything's all good. So now let's look at the weekly chart, see if we're getting ready to do a stock RSI cross up. We're crossing up as we speak through that 20 line, but to really know that this is it, this is the moment, we need to break above that 50 line. Because that's when we broke above that 50 line back in September of last year, October of last year. That's what took us up. And ever since breaking back down in January, we had a little pop up back in February, but ever since breaking down in April, we haven't been able to reclaim that bullishness in the market, and getting above that 50 line in the stock RSI on the weekly will do that. So we got through the 20 line, which is good, but really the moment of truth is when we get up to that 50 line. Looking at the TSI, we are right at the stage where we need to see a curl up. We're right at the same point back in September as last year. We're starting to see some curvature. So really this is the week that we need to see some movement in the price action so we can save this from crossing down. We might see a little pop up, come back down, and then we will be off to the races like this time last year. So that's what I'm seeing. We're seeing a lot of good signs so far, but we have some key levels to break above. We need those higher time frame momentums to turn over. If we look at like the medium time frames, like the daily chart, seeing that we have the MACD printing another dark green bar there. Looking at the TSI, it was getting ready. Looking at the 3-day chart, getting that cross up as we speak, flipping to a green bar right now on the MACD. All signs are pointing that this could be it. This could be the big moment with Bitcoin, and that will spill into the altcoins. So if we look at the altcoins, we're looking at that weekly chart. We haven't seen a 1 week prepare to buy soon since the bear market bottoms back here in bull times. And really, we're waiting for that 1 week buy now signal. Being on the 1 week 200 moving average at the top of this downward sloping resistance. If we look at the momentum here, we're starting to see some curvature. And looking at the stock RSI, we crossed up through that 20 line right now. And what's going to be the kicker is getting above that 50 line. Also looking at the pump dump chart on the left side of the screen, we're on the 4-day chart here. As you can see, we're starting to coil. We're snaking up. We have this downward sloping resistance like that. And to me, it looks like we're getting ready to dump hard down through this 50 line. That's what we want to see. We want to see this come down through the 50 line and Bitcoin go up through the 50 line. So they're both kind of at where they need to be right now. And we just need to see that follow through this week. This is the week that decides it all. So Bitcoin needs to get up through there. The pump dump chart needs to break down through that 50 line. And then we'll see that TSI cross down and MACD cross down. We haven't seen that cross up. Well, it crossed up back in April, and that's where everything really started to take its tumble. When we crossed down back here in September, that was when we started this big uptrend in Bitcoin. So we need to see those things happen. I'm going to leave it off like that. This is going to be the week. Tomorrow is going to be very important with kind of what happens in the markets. Kind of just sitting on my hands until we get more clarity around the events tomorrow. And if everything pans out like I'm showing you right now with what we're watching, it's go time again. And if you want my top 10 altcoin picks for free, go to stargate-ventures.com. I'll put a link in the bio. Right when you get on the homepage, you'll see a button there and you'll get my top 10 altcoin picks for free. So I'll see you guys in the Discord. Link is in the bio for that. And I'll see you guys in the next video.